And Mickey Caparelli with ThaBoxingvoice.com here with the mastermind behind the Team Fury, Peter Fury. Peter, how are you?
Good.
Very good. Now, Tyson's career has been plagued with postponements, both fights with Hay, both fights with Klitschko, Chisora. Do you think that has sort of hindered his progression as a boxer in any way, given that he's been so inactive in the last 5 years?
If he was like 36, 37, it would mean something. But given he's not 28 until August, it doesn't mean anything. Matter of fact, although he's inactive, he's not inactive in the gym. He's done a session this morning. He's training, and he's always training. So his hands is always in it. So that's not really. I don't think it's having any detrimental effect.
Great. And given that your team have already reached the ultimate goal of becoming heavyweight champion, both you and Tyson have said that nothing will compare to that night in Germany. Is there as much motivation going forward as there was prior to the first Klitschko fight?
Yeah, he's only just stepped his foot on top of the mountain. He's had a long way up, and it's to prove that there's no fluke, there's nothing lucky in it. He is what he is, and I think he will remain at the top for as long as he wants.
And what about his comments about hating the sport and wanting to retire after the Klitschko fight? How legitimate are those comments?
I see the comments as nonsense. He'll play the public and he'll play the crowd, but that's not really him. If people see him in the gym, what you see and what he is what he portrays sometimes to the public media is not reality. So I don't read anything into it.
So there's definitely a plan to clean out the division?
Oh, 100%. We ain't come this far, years down the road, to have one world title fight and defend it and sing into sunset. He's at the pinnacle of his career. There's big fights ahead. All big fights are ahead of him. His next one it will be on October the 29th, Manchester Arena. So. We're looking forward to that, and he's in training for that.
And who would you say is the biggest threat to Tyson in the division?
I think they're all threats, but Wilder, there's Deontay Wilder, there's Luis Ortiz, Joseph Parker. I think they're the realistic threats at the moment. And
looking at Huey's last fight against Fred Casey, his first step up, who would be an next ideal step up opponent for him if you had to pick one out of the litter?
I wasn't impressed with his last fight. I told him that as well. I said if that's the best you can do. But look, he's not been well, as we know, with this acne, whatever it's called. So the medicine seems to be working. His skin's clearing up. So I'm expecting good things from him. I want the public to see what this lad can do in full health. So we'll work into that, and he'll also be on the card in a very meaningful fight, if not a ranked number 3 or 4 fighter in the world on the undercard. So he's 20-0 now. He's number 6 in the world, and if he's got there fighting with an illness, then people need to see what this lad can do when he's 100% fit, because I can tell you he's not being fit, not healthy fit, I should say. And that's a testament when you only ought to look at his body in the fights. His body's a mess because it affects the blood, and these open sores, it's affecting his blood. His immune system's fighting that on top of the training, pushing him right down through the floor. So when you're training somebody and you're in a combatant sport, when really they should be not fighting at all, it gives you an idea. So I'm really looking forward to him fighting in full health.
Do you think he'll be 100% for the Klitschko undercard?
It's hard to say. This is the first day back, and we just don't know how he's going to respond. He's on 60 milligrams of these tablets per day, and he's got to have them for 6 months. So that's what we're told. So we will see how he progresses in his training, to see because every time he's trained in the past, he's got like 2 or 3 weeks in and he's nosedived, feeling tired, struggling to do 2 or 3 rounds, fatigued, just going, instead of improving in the training sessions, he was going downhill. Because like I said, his body's fighting, one, the intense training, and the other is fighting viruses in the blood. So this is all because of these infections. So that's it. So his body's been totally infected, but now his blood's not infected. I have to see how he's going to to develop. He looks a lot better. He's put weight on. I think he's whatever 17 stone is in kilos. I think it's about 110 kilos or something like this. So, but he's not. How can I say? He's not been pushed. He's just been doing the weights and ticking over. But now he's back in boxing training. I will see how he does.
Great. And who would you say has been your biggest inspiration as a trainer?
Nobody, because I don't look at other trainers, and I look at other boxers. And growing up as a child, I always looked at Muhammad Ali and all the past fighters, and I admire them. I admire everybody that works hard and does well in sport, in anything really, because there's so much involved in it. There's been some great trainers as well as great fighters, obviously. So it's all good. But I look up to them all. I suppose it's all part of the team, isn't it? It's all part of boxing. But I never look at people's training tips or anything like that.
So just go your own way.
But everybody should do their own thing. What you believe is right. If you believe in it, then it's a true saying. If you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing, and if you don't, there's not much you can learn about it.
Yeah, and lastly, obviously Kell Brook sort of surprised the whole boxing world with news that he's stepping up 2 weight divisions to fight Gennady Golovkin. As a trainer, what would you be saying in his corner to him if he has any chance at all to survive that fight?
It's a difficult one. Kell Brook's a good fighter, but he's a fair bit shorter, isn't he, than Golovkin, and he's going up 2 weights, you said. So I don't give him much of a chance there. He's got to slip and slide, and he's got to box the best way he can. But we just don't really know just how tough Kell Brook is. He's a decent fighter, but I think Golovkin's just on another level. I hope he gets paid well. Anything can happen in boxing. Nobody's invincible. So he's got a chance like everybody else. But looking at it, Golovkin is a massive favourite because they're not the same size, are they? We've seen what happened with Amir Khan and Canelo. So when you're jumping out your weight division, they haven't got weight divisions for a reason. They're there for a reason. So that's why I heavily favour the other guy.
Do you think Amir Khan and now Kell Brook suffering such a devastating loss, especially at the hands of someone like Gennady Golovkin, do you think that could shave years off his career?
No, I don't. I thought the scorecards was ridiculous. I had Khan ahead the full 6. I had him outboxing Canelo every round. They saw it different, but I didn't. But look, he made one mistake, and that's all it takes when you're fighting out of your weight zone. And it was a clean knockout. I don't think he's took anything out of him because the punch he got hit with, nobody's getting up. So he comes straight onto it. He walked straight onto the straight right, basically, coming around onto it. So it was double impact. So I think he can come again. I think it'd be a great fight between him and Kell Brook. I think that's what really the people want to see. That's the fight what should have happened for me, not Canelo, not Golovkin. Sorry.
Yeah, even Keith Thurman and Brook would have been a great sort of matchup, given that they're the 2 best in the.
Well, look, Thurman and Porter had a good fight, didn't they?
Very good.
It was a good fight to see. To be honest, I haven't saw it yet, but I've heard good things about it. But I think, people should make the fights what ultimately the public want to see. They're both from England, and I think Kell Brook and Amir Khan will be another blockbuster. And but then again, let's look at it this way. If Kell Brook loses, which highly likely he's going to, on a realistic note, yeah. He's done the same as Amir Khan. He's not damaged his career because nobody's expecting him to win anyway. So he gets to keep his belts because he's coming out of his weight. So it's a fight to take because there's no downside to it. If I was Kell Brook's manager and promoter, I'd say take the fight because he's only, it's a loss. They're professional fighters, yeah. So when he comes back down, it's still a mega fight with him and Khan. So even better because they're both going to be coming off 2 losses of probably similar nature.
Exactly.
So it makes sense to me that. So I think we'll probably see that fight after Brook and Golovkin.
Great. Peter Fury, thanks so much for your time and all the best with training.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ain't no other sight in the game, 'cause see the boxing voice.